All right, we're walking down Turak. We're going to find a new coffee spot to check out today, and we're going to talk about crypto, of course, Bitcoin, AI, my thesis on Bitcoin being proof of energy, a couple conspiracy theories, Trump. I don't know. We got a lot.
A lot of things. Less of macro this time.
Less of macro, more of a chat, more of a good coffee. Hopefully at this new place. Check it out. I really think we hit
60 again. 40.
We could go into the low 50s, high 40s. Anything below that would mean that Bitcoin's no longer worth mining, which is end of the world scenario for crypto.
So we are crypto degens, but working in an institutional environment.
As a Bitcoin maxi man, if you hack Satoshi's wallet, that is the ultimate proof of work.
I think that's where it's a tough battle between the legal and the compliance against what crypto community wants.
Man, I'm so deep in the conspiracy theory trenches. I just think it's all being manipulated.
I think that's the number one use case emerging from AI agents.
I think I was sold Bitcoin wrong. I've been looking at it the wrong way, and I think a lot of people look at it the wrong way. I'm fully in on Bitcoin being tokenized energy.
Would you like to come have some coffee and pie with me?
Hey, we found a cool new place. It's very like European.
Cozy vibe, yeah.
Very cozy. We'll do some nice B-roll of the fountain. Nice
little saloon as well.
Nice vibe. It gives me the vibes of what you want when you've retired from crypto, when you've sold everything and you're just relaxing in Europe, reaping the rewards. Not a lot of rewards to be had this week. What are we at? I don't know, 68?
68, yeah. It's a choppy environment. But yeah, the CPI was good.
It's always good. Everything's good.
Everything's good. Not
good
the price.
except for the price.
So it's a ranging environment right now. But yeah, we are trying to form a base. That's what I see.
Around the 60 mark. I do think we might go lower. I really think we hit
60 again. 40.
Man, we could go into the low 50s, high 40s.
You tweeted as well, right? You X'd about Bitcoin looking to go below 50 and Ethereum looks like.
It was weird. I was looking at the Ethereum chart. I'm like, yeah, this is about to go bullish. And then I looked at the Bitcoin chart and I was like, I don't know. Like, it's weird because one's the beta play of the other, right? Like, essentially, if you zoom out far enough. But I was like, this one looks bad.
There's a bit of all seasons or mini all season going on.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's just choppy and Ethereum is battling 2000. So that's actually good.
Look, I have this like sneaky suspicion that Bitcoin hits sort of 49, 48, being essentially the cost to mine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Being essentially the cost to mine, right? So the cost to mine sits between 35, I don't even want to think about that, and 49 at the moment. So anything below that would mean that Bitcoin's no longer worth mining, which is end of the world scenario for crypto, which I don't think is happening. So to me, that's the ultimate floor, is 49.
Okay, that's interesting. Here's a production course that's sitting 75, I think. Bitcoin 68. So a lot of minor selling might be there once Bitcoin starts dropping as well. But we are seeing whale accumulation.
We're seeing a lot of whale accumulation. We're seeing a lot of ETF inflows again.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of appetite and activity around institutional adoption of Bitcoin, as always. But that's what we say. We jump on every week and we say the same thing. Institutions are here, corporates are here, banks are here. Unfortunately, retail is not. Oh, the coffee looks good.
That's for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At least can't rely on Bitcoin. We can always rely on the coffee. Oh, look at that. That's a fancy cappuccino. I noticed you didn't get any weird syrup this week either. Did you feel embarrassed after my comments last week?
No. Already had one for the day, so no embarrassment on the choices.
Good coffee.
Yeah, it's actually good coffee.
So we're seeing a lot of institutional adoption and banks. I still think there's a larger play. Man, I'm so deep in the conspiracy theory trenches that I just think it's all being manipulated.
I think the next cycle is when we hit 10 trillion. The banks are just preparing the pipes to it. Because everything is...
Look, you sent me down a rabbit hole of... You made a comment in the video and on a podcast in the office of like what is the purpose and USP and value of Bitcoin. I think you said crypto, but I took it as what is it of Bitcoin, right?
Bitcoin, yeah.
And so I've gone down this rabbit hole for a number of weeks now, and I'm fully in on Bitcoin being tokenized energy,
Yeah, that's what it is.
tokenization of energy.
Yeah.
And I think like when that clicked for me is like my aha moment of just like, I think I was sold Bitcoin wrong. I think they sold it to me, you, like everything as like digital gold.
It's not.
And we said Ethereum was digital oil because that's what the infrastructure is built on.
Yeah.
I think I've been looking at it the wrong way, and I think a lot of people look at it the wrong way. Bitcoin is digital energy.
Yes.
It's a surplus of energy because you can. That's why I think the floor is the mining price. So, like, quick lesson for those that don't know, Bitcoin proof of work means that it needs to be mined. To be mined, it needs to use electricity.
Spend
Okay,
energy.
once you buy the miners, but they're getting cheaper and cheaper, and Nvidia is getting richer and richer.
Yep.
Once you have the miners, you essentially just need energy in to get Bitcoin out. And that means you can transfer the value of any energy resource without the need to have wires, pipes, or anything like that. And when I understood that, I was like, this is the future, especially in an AI world that is energy hungry and resource hungry.
Yep.
I don't think we have an AI boom without more efficient energy transmission. And I don't think we have more efficient energy transmission without Bitcoin.
I totally agree. That's where there's another conspiracy theory catch to it. It's like AI future traveled. Like they did like time travel to start Bitcoin so that they are able to fund themselves with energy and the tokens and everything.
At the peak of like the meme coin thing, I had this whole narrative written about launching like a meme coin that the whole premise was the fact that it was sent back in time from humanity in the future that had like gone into debt with aliens.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole funny thing. I got a name for it. I might do it one day.
Writing
might have just doxed myself.
fiction novel as
But
well.
like it was like this really cool interactive kind of like using crypto to be part of the narrative and part of the story, on unlocking some story structure through that, and like thing. And I thought it was genius. And then the floor fell out of anything meme related.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're pretty much on spot and like seeing Bitcoin as like digital energy.
I think that's it. And so I want to give the example on podcasts because it took me a while to understand it. And I think when you look at nations and corporations and stuff, it can be a little bit hard. But when I understood it, it's like imagine you live in the outback in the middle of Australia and you have solar energy and a solar energy farm, right? To power your house. So you're capturing solar energy at peak. You're using it, but at peak, it's essentially being wasted. Sure, you've got a couple batteries that you're filling up. The batteries are finite. Eventually, that energy is just being dispersed and lost.
Yep.
What you could do is set up a Bitcoin miner. You would turn that energy into Bitcoin. You, for example, would then send that Bitcoin to a relative overseas. In India, for example, they can sell the Bitcoin and purchase energy. And I think that's what corporations will start doing. That is what the energy industry will start doing. If you look at like gas and oil mining, gas companies actually burn off a lot of gas because it's cheaper for them to burn it off and get rid of it than it is to pipe it and transfer it somewhere. So now you just stick a portable miner on top of that gas field, mine Bitcoin, you've got money that you wouldn't have, and you're able to transfer that money to somewhere else that has cheaper electricity. Or you set up like, I don't know, a Bitcoin miner in a volcano that you could never mine, right? And because the difficulty is getting that energy out of the volcano, you can now
That's what El Salvador did.
mine Bitcoin and send it to somewhere else that has an easy
way of
thing and purchase it. So you're able to transfer that value. It's really, to me, it's like the old Templar Knight thing. I love history of, they used to dump gold at a port, get pieces of paper, because gold was too heavy to put on ships. Go to another port, give their piece of paper, and get gold back, which is what started banking. That is what invented banking. That is the premise of banking, dropping off your assets
100%.
at one place, getting a credit note, a piece of paper, money, and you're supposed to be able to go to the bank and take your gold out. And that's what, that is what that's what led to money. And gold was proof of work because you had to mine gold. And I think now, Bitcoin becomes proof of work for energy. That's my rant. That's my mic drop. That is my thesis on why Bitcoin will continue going up in price. And also because there's every other asset class, when it goes up in value, they just make more of it. Or they mine more of it. Can't make more Bitcoin.
Can't make more Bitcoin.
So, I mean, I've run this exchange for like 18 months and always believed in Bitcoin, but now it's like I've become maxi.
So are you gonna get a Bitcoin tattoo as well?
I'm gonna get a Bitcoin tattoo like you.
Now that's what fascinated me back 10 years back as well. Like this is entirely a new thing, man. Like no one back then understood.
But I think now
it's
AI now sort of closes the loop for me because it's going to be
the ultimate use case.
Well, the bottleneck for AI is energy.
Yeah.
Technology, if you look at technology, gets better, but it reaches a point. Microchips there's no new technology being developed. We're putting more chips and more circuits on a microchip, right?
Yeah.
Putting more and more and more. And so to scale AI quickly, when governments are in an AI race, AI arms race, to scale quickly, the quickest way to scale is to build more server farms, stick more NVIDIAs in there, and scale physically.
Yes.
That's easier to do. You just go and buy them, you make them, right? That's sort of that. That's traditional industry.
Yes.
It's traditional industry, right? Factories. You build it, great. Then the bottleneck becomes getting power to them.
Yep.
And I think that's when we go into an energy race.
Yeah, that's what is like the world is witnessing right now. Even the US is getting funded from the trade deals that they are making right now. They are all getting like 500 billions of investments into energy sector that Trump is massively pushing.
Well, energy has always made, oil has always been the thing for every war. So I think this is sort of the next step of that.
Yeah.
And when the price of energy goes up, averaged out across all types of energy, the price of energy goes up, that floor price for Bitcoin has to go up. Then there's less Bitcoins, they have to go up. So it just becomes an exponential growth curve.
Yeah.
Exponential growth curve.
We are already
so buy Bitcoin.
If you just zoom out, we are already exponential. Like these 20K drops doesn't even matter when you zoom out on a 15-year time frame, man. This is just tiny,
So I do think Bitcoin may drop further.
Okay.
I do think.
Doesn't really matter, right?
But it doesn't really matter. I don't think it can drop more than 50K, 49K, like whatever the floor price is, the cost price for energy. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's game over. If Bitcoin is cheaper than the energy required to create it's game over for Bitcoin. And it's a failed experiment, and that may happen. That's an option, right?
Yeah.
I do think we at that point move on to something else because this solution that I just described, Bitcoin solving, needs to happen anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see them inventing another solution for it when Bitcoin actually works and is already adopted, and we see so many institutions getting into it. So I don't think the institutions, governments now buying Bitcoin, I don't think it's a crypto grab. It's not a Bitcoin grab. It's not even, I don't think it's even a financial grab. It's an energy grab.
It's an energy
grab. It's purely what we've always gone to war for. Oil, energy, resources, gas, oil. It's not gold. It's energy.
It's energy, yeah.
That's it.
I think that's where Bitcoin sits in a lot of verticals alongside the energy aspect. Like getting into the supply and demand 4-year halving cycle that we see on Bitcoin makes it way scarce, and then it leads to eventually a bit of demand ticks up the price. I think this cycle, what we have witnessed is a lot of OGs sold above 100K. That's what we witnessed, right? A lot of outflow, $11 billion worth of whales sitting on Bitcoin, selling it. I think once this pressure goes off, we are already seeing it trimming down. I think the next cycle we'll see Bitcoin just mooning because the institutions have hoarded at cheap prices. And if everything goes good, the liquidity is into the market.
See, but I don't see institutions getting rid of it.
They won't.
I don't see this. For me, institutions buying Bitcoin is as good as a burn mechanism.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Okay. Yes. They'll take profits here and there. They'll move it. But the trend of their holdings
Is to hold more
is to
Bitcoin.
hold more Bitcoin.
Ultimately, what they see is not to have more dollar value, but more Bitcoin.
Because it's
the number of
That's what
Bitcoin.
everyone says. Doesn't matter how many USD you have or how many
Doesn't
dollars of
matter.
Bitcoin you have. You need more Bitcoin, and that's it. Because it's not. Ultimately, we think of Bitcoin now because monetary we equate a USD value to it.
Yes.
But I think it flips where rather than equating a USD value to Bitcoin, we start equating a Bitcoin value to
Anything.
energy.
Energy, Apple iPhone, everything is being compared to Bitcoin. If you see the house prices, you could have 10,000 Bitcoins buying one house. Right now, you can have 5 Bitcoins, you can get a house. So everything is going cheaper
Not
against
in
the
Melbourne.
Bitcoin. Yeah, more or less. But yeah,
Not
5
in
or
Melbourne.
6 Bitcoins
Not
in
in
USD
Melbourne,
terms. Yeah, 800, 900K.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that bracket.
I don't think you buy a house in Melbourne under $1 million.
Yeah,
Really?
you can like 2 BHK or something like that, but yeah,
That's not Melbourne anymore. That's
Yeah.
the next town over.
100%. So yeah, I think that's where Bitcoin sits across a lot of fundamental values in terms of humanity, like you discussed, in terms of the psychological barriers or the war front of humanity. Like you see Trump chasing energy right now. There are
Yeah.
nations going out and loud about the energy crisis that we're going to witness due to AI, and now they've started to shift their focus on the AI aspect, AI data centers and stuff.
Yep.
So I think that's where we lead, and ultimately Bitcoin benefits the most. That's what I think in terms of the AI speculation around AI agents using their own tokens and stuff, everything. So ultimately, crypto and Bitcoin.
I think I watched
Goes-
back. I
goes
watched
out
back the
and loud.
video that we did last week, and I think you made a really interesting point of they need crypto. So maybe not Bitcoin, but let's say crypto for this case. AI tokens they can't KYC. AI agents cannot KYC, and so
For the time being.
for the time being.
They might have their own system of validation.
But also, if you're handing over autonomy of your finances to an AI, an unproven one like Claude Bot,
Yep.
you want to build a bit of a gate around it. So you don't want them to have unbridled access to your black Amex that you carry around.
That's
You
what-
just go, here's a wallet,
Yes.
and I've put in 10,000 USD, 10,000 Bitcoin. Go do what you need, right? And that's sort of
Tokenized version.
yeah. So it gives you a little bit more control and builds a bit of a moat around your finances.
Yes, 100%. I think that's the number one use case emerging from AI agents workspace as well right now. They are transacting internally with themselves. So they are
Yeah.
able to transact monetary because every AI agent has some sort of a specialized use case or whatever the values they drive.
Well, I
And
think what's going to be so interesting now is
they're just
is
another
when-
human beings now.
Well, what's going to be interesting is when AI starts working out what the value for certain things are. Because that's the value that we put on things is very much a human concept,
Yes.
right? So if it's like we're here having a coffee is valued at a certain amount because the coffee industry supports it. If no one drank coffee beans would be worth nothing.
Yes. That's where the
So like when AI doesn't understand those intricacies and it's just purely like if you get two bots trading for, hey, I need to buy some coffee. I'm representing a coffee manufacturer. Okay, I've got coffee beans. Like, and when they purely work it out from a proof of work point of view,
Yep.
rather than a hype of whatever you want to call normal
Yep.
marketing,
Yep.
I think you get some really interesting edge cases where you might
100%.
you might get like diamonds sold for nothing because essentially they're not worth that much, right?
Yeah, not the physical aspects. I think I can't comment on the physical side of the things where what AI evaluates, but definitely on the data side or the digital aspects towards data receivable or the API endpoints and whatever the values we pay heaps on the API thing.
Yep.
I think with AI everything gets cheaper because they'll understand like this is just another data for us.
Well, they remove the emotion from trading or the
Yes.
emotion from
So
purchasing. So
because humans have emotions and that creates a certain value towards anything, right? Even the diamonds, the physical aspects that you're talking about. But the digital side of the things, I think AI agents are getting smarter every day. We have seen like a lot of new things emerging, right? And that's where the next thing is to be seen with the humans. Because I was discussing a case with you over the last podcast, I think, wherein they needed a human CEO, right? Just to represent themselves
yeah,
in the physical world. And
That's what we're going to end up being. It's like AI is going to do everything, and they'll pick you. You're the designated puppet.
yeah, exactly. So, and it depends on them how they see the value. Right now, CEOs get paid $1 million here and there, right? What if AI sees, okay, just couple meetings a week, and then everything is just done by us. So here's your 100K
Yeah.
to represent us.
Well, that's exactly when they start applying monetary non-emotional value to like essentially proof of work to everything that's done in the real world. I think that's really interesting. It's you're going to see a lot
Massive
of people, a lot of
devaluation.
egos hurt. Like, hold on, what do you mean? You know, you look. Yeah, you're right. Look at the CEOs and like Qantas CEOs on massive salaries and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what else has happened this week? So I don't even know. I mentioned it on the walk over. Binance. There was a rumor that Binance was going under, which I love it. Binance is not going anywhere. Everything all roads lead to Binance. Nothing is.
That's what we were discussing here. All the liquidity pipes, everything ultimately flows to.
But what was the rumor? Were you across the rumor?
Nah, not really.
I
It
saw
was just another FUD.
Yeah, there was some FUD on X going around that Binance was.
They always target Binance one, like for some reason. Because CZ and like
The interesting thing that the CZ's come out saying is that what's missing in crypto is privacy. It's really interesting. I think that's like a podcast topic in itself. Is
Yep.
does crypto need privacy? Obviously, there was an element of privacy applied to it to begin with, and you know you see that in
I think
Satoshi's white paper and the
there was no privacy on the Satoshi's white paper because it's a public.
not a privacy
public
layer,
use.
but just being able to move money freely without the government looking at you, right? That was the
Not the government
kind of-
looking at. I think the government controlling over it.
Yeah.
Looking, it's a public,
Financial freedom.
public ledger.
Well,
right?
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Sorry, you make a really good point. It's public
Yeah.
ledger, so everything's public. You have to know whose wallet belongs to who,
Yeah, just
but
to.
but it's all
override
there.
that.
So you know, I guess accountability, but also being able to do things a little bit privately, so like people don't know. Like
100%.
that's who you are. So there was that aspect to crypto, and I think the fact that Zcash is like a really old privacy layer. Bitcoin Private was one of the first forks that burned me.
Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold.
Right. So there was always a level of privacy around crypto.
Yeah.
With institutional adoption, that goes away. Does crypto need privacy to succeed?
I think yes, because the world that we are moving into is all about data, right? And your data needs to be protected. Because let's say we are talking about the AI aspect as well, because that's where we are heading as a world, right? So let's say your agent is exposed to a lot of things and you're not even aware of it. Because your information will be used by your AI agent somewhere to transact.
Yep.
And that leads to ultimately a data breach sort of scenario as well. So if your transactions are being done privately by your AI agent or the crypto movement that you're
But
doing,
is that,
anything.
do you think the privacy, like we sort of said, is that ingrained into the protocol needs to be completely private, or just you don't really know whose wallet belongs to who? Is that enough? Do we need a?
I think so. Yeah, I think
we
we
need a
need
privacy
privacy.
layer?
We do.
So you think we need something like Zcash? We need a
100%.
privacy layer.
I think you need to have that option or functionality for hiding or shielding or masking your transactions.
Okay.
That's very much needed in the world that we are moving forward. Even on the KYC piece, like you have to have it encrypted somewhere, and that's basically you can have a zero knowledge KYC. That's where the whole world is heading right now, wherein you don't expose a lot of details from the clients or like the person details on the KYC aspect, but you can just have another layer on top that's zero knowledge
So
that can be used to transact within the API ecosystem on the transactional parties.
what do you think's leading the way with privacy in crypto?
Ethereum.
I'm down with it.
I think Ethereum is just moving all fronts into a lot of things.
If anyone knows Barry in real life, like Barry can't talk without moving his hands, and so he keeps bumping the camera.
Okay.
Doesn't take the hint. Like, Ethereum.
Yeah, Ethereum is moving quick on privacy, dissing the L2s as well, like we discussed. So yeah, I think the big piece is Ethereum might, because Ethereum is just being a settlement layer for the whole stablecoin ecosystem. That's where Ethereum and Solana are competing now.
Yeah.
So I think it's very quick and wise for Ethereum to deploy something, because that's what Vitalik has already confirmed as well previously in his tweets and like in his conferences and wherever he speaks about. So he's trying to create the ultimate place for Ethereum to be at, which has privacy, which has fast settlement.
Look at this guy like Indiana Jones. I wish I could turn the camera around, like an elderly gentleman, leather jacket, satchel, tan pants, Indiana Jones hat. I love this cafe. It's like
No, it's
very much a
great vibe.
retiree cafe. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that's where the world of Ethereum heads. And I think privacy is what these people will advocate as well.
How do you think privacy plays into what we were discussing earlier with Bitcoin and the movement of energy?
I think
Doing privacy. I almost like the transparency of it to be able to see who's doing what. Right now, you get these shady barrel oils moved around. You don't know
who's moving what.
what Somalian pirates jacking what, right? What Russian oligarch is moving oil where?
I think for Bitcoin to evolve into a privacy layer protocol, you need more than 51% votes, right?
You need 51%.
That's an ultimate thing. I don't see a case where more than 51% gets.
Look,
a
I
vote.
think Michael Saylor is looking at like ultimately 7.5%. I think.
Yeah.
Like,
He's after
ultimately, he's like
7.5 to 10%. That's what he sort of looks at, like holding that sort of Bitcoin stash, because that's where I think Bitcoin can do a bit of development on the privacy layer. But I think how it started was just as a decentralized layer, which is publicly distributed ledger, which you can view anytime, anyone can view anytime. But then you have those sort of blockchain KYT protocols like Elliptic, Nominis emerging into play, wherein they are able to see all the hoops that one is jumping,
Yeah.
and it ultimately connects to the last party, the sender and the receiver, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's where a bit of privacy can be there. It's bad for the governments, honestly, to have that sort of privacy for anyone who is able to just send and receive anything to anyone and without even anyone knowing about it, right? I think that's where it's a tough battle between the legal and the compliance against what crypto community wants.
Look, man, we
ultimately.
always see it. Like today, I had to call a client you heard who we saw from a transaction was funding a wallet that we believe is tied to a multi-level marketing scam.
Yep.
Speaking with that client, they think it's above board and legitimate, and it is a registered business and a legitimate business. And it's like, we don't like that particular business or that niche of crypto, but we can see what they're doing,
Funds ultimately land. Yeah, exactly.
right? So it's like the crypto maxi in me is like, we should be able to do whatever you want. That's the point of financial freedom, and that's the point. The person that runs a business and an exchange in me is like, hold on, we need to protect our customers. We need to protect the clients. So it is sort of like, it's at odds. It's at loggerheads with itself, right? And like, yeah, with the increase of tech like Nominis helping us scan transactions and seeing what happens, and even back scanning wallets, we're saying we need privacy, but we're leaning more and more towards the other side.
That's where I think we sit. So we are crypto degens, but working in an institutional environment. I think that's where there are two phases of, like, that's what I've been recently deep diving as well. Like, there are now two phases of crypto.
Yeah.
One is like the 10 years old BlackBerry, which was so into privacy and like the
I miss my BlackBerry Bold. Bring back the BlackBerry Bold. I miss the BBM Messenger.
yeah, the pin, yeah, exactly. And now there's a new, after 10 years, like it's spending a decade in crypto. I realize now, okay, Bitcoin is getting, or crypto is getting boring, and it's getting bullish fundamentally in terms of mass adoption, in terms of revolutionizing the world the way it wasn't
Because,
meant to be.
You know, it's never going to flourish if it can't be
Mass adopted.
mass adopted. It's never going to be mass adopted if somebody like doesn't feel that they can use it as easy as money for whatever reason, right? You can get scammed out of money every day. These people can get scammed on their credit card every day.
Yeah.
If crypto feels more gated and protected, like this client said, you know, it's my money. I should be able to do with it what I please. Now, multi-level marketing,
I think
I say it's a scam,
yeah.
but it's a business. Like
It is,
these
it is.
businesses, Tupperware containers and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
I think that's where the world of crypto sits, Mike, wherein you have the
So I've given them the money. So don't mind if anyone's playing around.
Yeah, I think the first layer sits with the centralized exchanges like us, wherein we are sort of responsible for undertaking the clients and doing our due diligence. Once they are having the control of their money, they are free to do anywhere. Like they can transact anywhere to anywhere, right? That's where crypto, as the degen head, sits in me.
Yeah.
Wherein the first layer, you need to abide by the rules of the centralized exchanges, the Australian OSTRAC, the AML policies, and everything.
Yep.
But once they are having that crypto in their own personal wallet, that's where the crypto as an industry or as a revolution starts, wherein you're able to transact freely within
I think
the
we
whole
have
ecosystem
I think
without
that we-
anyone.
But because it is a new industry, we do have a responsibility to educate.
100%. Yeah.
You know, like everybody should be able to buy a Porsche. You buy a GT3, you need to take the driving course.
Yeah.
You need to do a Porsche driving course,
Yeah.
right? Because they don't want you to wreck it. Because they see some sort of responsibility there. It's bad for Porsche if there's a crashed Porsche. It gets on the news. Like you crash a Porsche, it's on the bloody news, right? You crash a GT3 RS, it's on the news.
Yep.
So they see some education responsibility there.
Yeah.
I think crypto's the same. Like, I think we have a education responsibility to at least, like I did, pick up the phone and say, hey, are you aware that this is what's happening?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, I'm aware, I'm a willing participant.
Exactly. That's what we can do as a
lot I can
centralized
do.
exchange. Exactly. That's where I think the first layer is getting the funds in, transacting it to crypto, and then once you are out, then it's your own world, which you need to be savvy enough or smart enough to understand the funds that you're transferring might not be recoverable, or they might be exposed to a lot of illicit activity, for example.
Yeah.
That's what we see every day, right? In a lot of crypto transactions anyway. So I think that's where the layer 2 starts, wherein it's not actually L2, but the layer in terms of having that freedom to move your money without any third party approving your funds. That's where Bitcoin, like the tough part is to onboard.
Yeah. Rails to buy it. And that's where
Exactly.
the regulation and the gatekeeping happens to purchase
yeah.
it. And
But once you're in-
and if you look at like countries that have banned crypto, what they ban is purchasing of crypto. Because there's no way to actually ban holding
Bitcoin.
crypto. Right?
Exactly.
You
You
hold
can't
the
stop the
wallet.
network.
Once it's in, it's in. And
can't
so
stop
there is
the
a whole
network.
industry also transacting completely outside of Rails. They just completely Bitcoin to Bitcoin, crypto to crypto.
Peer to peer, yeah.
But wallets, yeah, exactly, right. So you never need those rails on and off. And I think the more we get adoption, the more we see that sort of happening in let's say more closed off cultures, North Korea, China,
On-chain
Africa,
cultures,
right?
yeah.
They on-chain cultures flourish there.
Yeah.
But the adoption, you look at like crypto adoption, it's those countries that are leading the charge.
That's where the banks are worried, man. Like that's what I see, because let's say on-chain yields, for example, this is a very tiny aspect right now in the world of crypto.
100%, especially in Australia, that's where the big four are worried.
Exactly. Every
Because you
other
can-
bank.
Because listen, you can in Australia, you open up a bank account for free.
Yep.
It's free bank account, no monthly fees, because they make money off of the yield that they're generating by buying bonds and investing and doing whatever with
And
that
they
money
pay you
that sits
nothing.
in your account.
Yep.
They pay you nothing, but that's how they make money.
Exactly.
That's why. Well, they do pay you.
0.5%.
No. They even think they give you a free account,
Oh yeah.
right? So they give you free infrastructure, they give you a free account, and that's where you get your wages in. They're giving you a service for free. It's also like if you're getting anything for free, you're the product. It's the
Exactly.
Same, like with data and banking, it's exactly the same. Online, if the website or social media is for free, you're the product. Instagram, you're the product. You're getting advertised to. They're making money off of you. Banks make money off of you. They give you a free account. And that's why they're worried, because that's their source of income. If you can now store your wealth on chain and generate the yield that they were going to be generating,
And
they're out of business.
you're actually being passed the yield transparently.
Yeah.
You know where the yield comes from. You know.
And you can be more flexible. Like I mentioned the other day,
Exactly.
like I've borrowed money, I've looped Ethereum through Aave,
Yep.
but I've staked enough of something else to the yield of that covers that. So essentially, I've gotten a free loan.
Exactly.
Well, I have to pay like it was like 0.001 APY on my Aave
borrowing.
loan,
Yep.
which I just bought more crypto with.
So you're looping. Yeah,
So I've
exactly.
looped. But the point was I needed to stake enough of something that I'm not going to sell
Yep.
to cover the APY. Like that's you hedge your finances. No bank lets you do that.
Exactly. No bank lets you do
Easily.
that easily.
bank lets you do
Even the looping strategy, you need to be presenting a certificate or something on a very high scale, which is not available to any retailer.
Yeah.
If you want to have these sort of strategies with your banking provider.
I think rich people, like wealthy people, can do it. They have a better relationship with their bank,
100%.
and they're able
Not
to.
the masses though, yeah.
Not the masses, but now on a small amount, you're able to take those principles that I think a lot of people do with with when they have massive real estate portfolios, and you're able to apply those same principles of looping essentially your
Holdings, yeah.
your holdings and
collateral, yeah.
collateral. That's the word.
Yeah.
It's purchasing more assets, and like this is the first time that we're ever able to do that without somebody without a third party. You know, back in the day, it was the loan sharks, like you know, the market.
Agents.
At the market, look at the, you know, what was the drama in the Bible? You know, think Jesus with the Jewish loan sharks, essentially, right? So this is always a massive battle. Now we've taken out that emotional greed and business out of it.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with running a bank. Don't get me wrong. I have no issue with running a bank. Like, it's a great business. I wish I could own a bank. I just think what I'm saying is I think they want it.
Now you can.
Now you can.
With the on-chain, like.
But listen, you can. You could do a family trust,
Yep.
pull all of the wealth into a smart contract,
Yes.
stake it,
Just be
and
savvy enough.
have that smart contract
Yeah.
to
Generate yield. Do whatever you want.
generate yield on this thing, but pay the dividends out
Yeah,
to
yeah.
your kids.
Yes.
To your, you do a family trust. All the money gets pooled,
Yep.
yield is earned, dividends is paid automatically.
Yep.
Now you no longer need to
Write a formal contract.
set up a trust,
Yeah.
go to the banks.
Multiple banking accounts. Yeah. Do KYC with them or like.
Much simpler.
Yes.
Much simpler.
That's where the world is heading. So that's
Yeah,
where.
I think we're there. Like, if you're smart enough, it's easy to do.
Yeah, exactly. So and you can create a wallet anytime.
And
like,
the yield is
on
better
a single
because
click.
think about it. There's no staff. The banks have to pay staff, marketing, rent.
Yep.
It's that. You look at. You always love sharing it, and I hope you know what's top of mind. My favorite thing that you ever share in our group chats is the Hyperliquid versus like Binance or any other exchange of like, I think they have like 11 staff. Hyperliquid has 11 staff members that are worth like 48 million each or something.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Look at the lean and the scalability that they've created, man. They have had only engineers. That's it.
Only engineers, because everything else is done smart contracts.
Yeah, exactly.
Product.
It's all a product game. Yeah, exactly. No marketing needed as well, man. Like they haven't marketed.
They do marketing. Like Hyperliquid, I think the token itself is marketing. I think getting in
Yeah,
influencers
100%.
and shields like you, pushing it
Non-paid
was marketing. Like, I think, they did really good Web3 marketing, right?
I love the product. That's where I started chilling it and all the tokenomics, everything. It was a game changer, man. Like Hyperliquid has been the game changer in terms of DEX perps. I used to trade DEX perps and it used to be so shitty. And then Hyperliquid came in and changed everything. Like so seamless, it's end of the game for the time being. And now everyone is just competing to get the pie. And Hyperliquid is a beast.
Hyperliquid's yeah.
It's a liquidity beast for the time being.
I think it'll be really interesting. I think, I like Aster.
Yeah.
I do like Aster. I think the product is as good as Hyperliquid. I think there's a couple of things that I like. There's a couple of things that I don't. But that's every exchange. You can pay different things. I think Aster is really, really good product.
They've got an app as well, so that's
Aster has the app, which Hyperliquid doesn't. Hyperliquid always annoys me because I'm trying to adjust my stop loss on Hyperliquid on my phone. You got to reconnect the wallet every single time. You do long-term shorts and longs.
maybe you can just log in via your wallet straight away. So I use Ravi for it.
Look, I'm connected straight away with my Trust wallet. I've got a separate Trust wallet for Hyperliquid to be safe. So if you are ever connecting to a DEX, set up a separate wallet. I only put in
100%.
what I want out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm logged in to Hyperliquid at the top. That's what I'm logged in as. But every now and then, I have to reconnect to change the order.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a little bit annoying, and then it's like sometimes buggy, and it's always like I'm doing it at 3 in the morning. Eyesight's not that like fucking connect. So like an app would be good. I'm sure they'll build an app. They got all the money in the world. Hyperliquid should hire one more engineer.
That's it.
It'll be a team of 12 instead of a team of 11, and they got an app.
And then there'll be like 48 million employee.
I think Aster's interesting, and Aster has the Binance
backing.
Binance backing.
YZ backing, yeah.
Quantum computing.
I think Bitcoin is in the devs are sort of trying to formalize an agreement internally and
There's a
to
couple of
make it quantum
proposals.
resistant.
There's
Yeah.
a couple things. The one thing that I saw that makes sense is there's a certain amount of lost Bitcoin, 3 to 4 million lost Bitcoin, that probably won't be
And that's good for Bitcoin.
quantum safe.
It's
No,
hard-
those will probably be hacked by quantum
Yeah.
computing.
Oh,
Because they
okay.
won't get the update. They're lost. They're just sitting there in wallets that won't. Because to update the contract, you have to trade it. Which
Yes.
is why a lot of the time people are like, oh, this whale's moved a lot of this money. Sometimes you have whales just move from one wallet to the next because you get a new version of the code.
Yeah, they're
a new
just
version
making
of
that
blockchain
more
on every
secure.
transfer, right? So it doesn't mean they're going to do anything.
Yeah.
It's just good to sort of refresh the Bitcoin that you're holding. I think that's
100%.
not all Bitcoin are made the same. So these old Gen 1 Bitcoins, even Satoshi's wallet potentially,
Is
could be susceptible to quantum hacks. So I read an interesting article about it. The author of this article, I'll link to it. I think it was like a series of tweets. It says the price is sort of factored in already into the price movement. It shouldn't be too much of a shock if it happens.
I think
Because we're already going through the quantum fear. So because there's a fear that all Bitcoin could be affected by quantum, but it actually won't, that fear is playing out now. So those 3 or 4 million Bitcoin that are affected, essentially, even if they get hacked, that's already been factored into the price now.
I don't think so. Okay.
Listen, I need some hopium because otherwise it's scary. Because when you look at it, it's like you're right. Like we will patch it, but we won't patch every wallet.
Exactly. That's where I want to see the devs doing some magic and kicking out of those old coins out of circulation. I think that's only then Bitcoin will survive in terms of
Well, surely
pricing.
they could like blacklist Satoshi's wallet.
Nah.
Why?
It's so in order to blacklist anything, you need to have an order of 51% because it's so
No,
decentralized.
but I'm
right?
saying that's what it is. Like if that's also the vote that needs to happen on anything needs to win by a 51% vote. Anything, right? So when
That'll be interesting.
when we're voting to put in a quantum proof, and there's a couple of
Kicking out the owner.
there's a couple of proposals to make Bitcoin quantum safe and update the code. That's what happens, and it needs to be voted on by the community. It needs to win by at least 51%.
100%.
That's the point of that. Now, if there is an issue where Satoshi's wallet cannot be updated,
Yeah.
there could be a vote that says, okay, anything coming out of that is just not included in the block.
Yeah, that might be a case, but yeah, I need
Like,
to
I
I
think
need to
it's-
study this.
Like it's super. You're right. Like going, how do we kick out the
Yeah, man, like it's a
owner?
tough
But if
thing.
that's a necessity, I don't know.
If that's a necessity, then if everyone just votes on one big thing, I think then Bitcoin's decentralized aspect might be fishy.
No, but it's still it has to have the vote.
Yeah, it has to be in the vote.
Listen,
but-
if 51% of the population doesn't like you and they vote you out of Bitcoin, I feel like you've done something to deserve it, baby.
No, 100%, man. Like, but yeah, this is another topic of discussion.
like if we have massive adoption, like that's it's not even, Bitcoin is the ultimate form of democracy at that point. It's not even decentralization. It's like
Yeah.
if everybody's using
Yeah.
Bitcoin and it allows people to vote on things.
Yeah. We need to see how whales control this narrative. But yeah, that's interesting. If 5 million supply hits the market, then I wonder where Bitcoin prices would go.
Yeah.
At least for the time being.
Well, they can't go less than the price proof of work for. They can't go less than the price to mine.
But those are already mined at cheaper prices. That's the thing. So they like
But the point is the value of Bitcoin can never drop below that because then there's no point mining it.
yeah. So no new tokens will be mined. So that holds the block.
That would be a short term.
Yeah. Let's see what anything can happen in this world.
Like it did. No doubt it did. But
Can dip to anything because there's a new supply in the market hitting and there's no new demand for it. So unless there's
here's the
it
other thing
creates-
though. Here's the other possibility. When Bybit was hacked,
Yeah.
all exchanges blacklisted the wallets that hacked it, right?
But those are centralized changes.
Right. But what I'm saying is if you
Chains.
hack 5 million Bitcoin,
Yep.
there's no like the goal of it is to be able to right now in today's day and age off ramp into a currency. Otherwise, you're holding 5 million Bitcoin. And if we all go, shit, a quantum computer has hacked Satoshi's wallet, we, as an industry, are going to disallow it having rails.
But yeah,
And elliptic, because we talk about elliptic, nominous, they go, okay, that wallet now becomes, we're not allowing transfers in and out, like.
they can't stop the transfers. That's the thing. So
No, but they can trace them.
tracing is
So
good.
like we as an industry go,
That's what happens
this was
anyway.
nefarious, this was hacked.
Yes, but they can't roll back. They can't stop
Oh,
the
man.
transactions to happen on the blockchain.
Listen,
Other
as a
blockchains,
Bitcoin maxi man, if you hack Satoshi's wallet, that is the ultimate proof of work.
and then you can
Think about it. That is
do
like
a lot of things.
proof of work. You've needed to have a quantum computer running cool enough.
Yep.
Maybe it balances itself out. I don't know, because the energy required to run that quantum computer to access that Bitcoin will be astronomical. So it's essentially, you
dollars.
mind it. It's essentially
It's going to be a government-funded program, man.
it's essentially proof of work.
Yeah.
In another way, like hacking someone's Bitcoin, stealing someone's Bitcoin, putting that much power into quantum computing, even if you factor in the cost that it took to develop quantum computing, is proof of work.
Yeah. And I think
So maybe the protocol is just foolproof. Maybe proof of work is just foolproof by design.
it should be ideally, but if someone is able to hack Satoshi's wallets, it's not the wallet. It's actually the keys that get hacked, and then I think they can always mix it, man. Like it's not like Bitcoin will. There are certain mixers in the crypto world.
Of course. And to be honest with
And
you,
you
if
can
you're
just buy
smart
the
enough
cash.
to work, if you're smart enough to work out crypto, if you're smart enough to work out quantum computing,
You're smart enough
and
to
you're smart enough to get away with that
figure it
money.
out, yeah.
But then it's like, to be honest, like I've always said, if you're smart enough to have quantum computing
Yep.
that can hack into Satoshi's wallet,
Yep.
the banks are fucked because you're gonna take a bank down.
Anything
first.
can be
You're
taken.
gonna take everything down first.
Yep.
Right. The OG encryption on Satoshi's wallet and the OG wallets and that 3 to 4 million Bitcoin that's estimated to be lost.
Yep.
If you've cracked that,
That's a world problem,
Along
and
the
it's
way,
not a
you've taken
crypto.
out the 4 banks, you've hacked the CIA, you've hacked the FBI.
Anything.
Like that is to be honest with you, you've caused so much trouble. 3 or 4 million Bitcoin at that point is
It's the end of the world.
It's the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a world. It's not a crypto problem.
It's a world problem. I know.
No, but definitely, if there are privacy protocols, right? That's where Zcash and the other Monero or something comes in, wherein the hacker is able to transact and swap it to anything on chain.
Look,
So you can't stop the swapping. You
You'll
can't.
always do peer-to-peer. You always you will always go to someone in a part of the world that does peer-to-peer and maybe takes 50 cents on the dollar for your Bitcoin, but gives you bricks of gold,
Yeah, anything can.
barrels of oil,
Yeah.
ships full of AK-47s. I've been watching The Night Manager. Shout out to Lachlan.
Look,
So there's always
there's always a risk, man.
risk. That's why I love this industry, man.
yeah.
We're in the
Makes you wonder.
We are on the precipice. We are on the cusp of, I think, like real, just everyday mass. We talk about mass adoption in retail, but right now I think mass adoption in retail is just investment. But we're on the like the cusp of real use case. Steak and Shake, American fast food place, has just accepted Bitcoin as payment, and they also pay out staff bonuses in Bitcoin.
That's what.
And it's like led to a boom. It's led. They just released the report. I wish I had the numbers. I just saw it in passing. It's led to a massive boom in the business,
Yep.
and a massive boom in people wanting to work for them.
100%.
Like people want to go pay for their fast food.
Let's say in the world wherein you don't get paid in the
How many
fiat,
Satoshi? How many 0.0s of Satoshi do you need to buy a burger and a shake?
20,000, 30,000. Yeah, exactly. That's where the world will get replaced by. That was the idea of Bitcoin, wherein you value everything against Satoshis and Bitcoin, not against USD or any fiat, because fiat gets devalued, right? That's what we have seen. Massive printing will keep on happening. The value that you are holding as a
Exactly.
fiat
Every other
currency.
asset, they just make more of it. Once
Exactly.
something has value, they make
More of it.
You can't make more of Bitcoin just because it has value.
That's
why
where
the
everything
price of
gets
Bitcoin
priced.
goes up.
Yeah, that's where everything gets repriced somewhere in the idle world.
But I think like what going back to what we started with, the discussion of energy, like there's a fundamental thermodynamics principle of like you can't lose energy. It's just transferred to something else.
Yeah.
I think like from a philosophical, theoretical way almost, energy can now be transferred into Bitcoin. let's just, and I think that premise is super, super interesting. And when you have, like you said, mass adoption, people are getting paid in Bitcoin, people are spending Bitcoin, and proof of work, the energy you put into something. When we start, like, from really, this is getting like philosophy.
Global currency is
But
Bitcoin.
philosophy of like when it becomes the proof of energy
Yep.
of like the energy that you've put into work. You come to work, you come to the office, you're putting energy into your job.
Yep.
You get paid in Bitcoin. You're mining mining oil, electricity. You're getting Bitcoin for that energy. And I think it's like Bitcoin has the potential to take the economy back to not this hype, proof of hype that we were talking about with the AI agents, but real proof of energy. What is the energy that either you put into earning or mining your currency, which in this case is Bitcoin? I think that has a really interesting value for humanity. I think potentially it's the only thing that saves us.
But that will burst the
AI.
whole bubble.
Man, I
The
think maybe
human bubble.
Maybe the bubble needs to be burst.
Yeah, then
not
we'll be pushed back
Maybe
hundreds.
we're anarchists. Maybe that Bitcoin tattoo needs to be an anarchy tattoo. Maybe that's what it is, right? Like when AI
Too much
takes over,
conspiracy
when
theories.
AI takes over and we're all out of jobps and we're all, replaced by everyone. It's
We
gonna
need
be
proof of work
but it's going to be a barter system
be
anyway
legit.
because you're going to mine. I'm going to mine some potatoes because I'm Polish. Grow some potatoes, farm some potatoes. You're going to farm, I don't know, something else. You're going to make some naan bread. I'm going to walk over to you and I'm going to say, here's three potatoes for 3 pieces of naan, right? That's proof of work.
Yeah.
That's what economies and in industry and infrastructure
That's
was
not
originally built on.
inflatable
But
because-
now you can't carry a whole sack of potatoes, but we can trade with Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're talking about the world where Bitcoin gets adopted as a global reserve currency. Because everything is just moving to energy, and ultimate representation of true energy is Bitcoin right now in the world. So everything gets repriced against Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is limited and it keeps on halving, then the price of Bitcoin will go astronomical. So that's
still don't know
where
if it-
Sailor is betting on.
And I don't know if it's good or bad for life in general. I think it's good for industry and economy potential, like for productivity. I think it's good for productivity. I don't know if it's good for humans. The other thing that scares me is
So that
you just
drives
mentioned.
the world towards a heavy logical driven world.
Yeah,
It's good for some humans.
it might be good, right? You're taking emotion out of things and think, but then
Then we are robots. Then we are not humans anymore.
That's like what we always said. Like, is it logical to keep some people alive from an AI point of view? Is it logical to keep
100%.
humans alive in general from an AI point of view? I don't know. But what scares me is along the way, every time there's been a challenge to the US being dethroned as the reserve currency,
Yep.
we've gone to war.
Yeah.
That's what led every war, every single war. Somebody along the way has said, hey, we're no longer going to buy oil in US dollars.
And then US. Yeah, exactly.
That's what led to Gulf War I. Iraq. The Iraq invasion was because Saddam tried to stop
The
trading oil
Yeah.
in euros and wanted in US dollars and wanted to trade against gold.
100%.
Gaddafi was dethroned in Libya because he
Same thing.
decided to trade oil in gold.
Yep. Petrodollar.
All of a sudden, So this always happens. Whenever anyone says
This is just the
that
history of
energy
US.
is being traded in anything but USD,
Yeah, they'll go out of. Just make sure that they are the number one.
but maybe that's why they want Bitcoin because they know they can't stop it.
Yes, that's the whole agenda of US. That's what I see, and it's not conspiracy. That's what I believe into, in a way, because
Well, the banks play the long term, right? So we always say politicians, they look at the 4 years thing, but this is all driven by the Fed. This is all driven by the big banks.
yes.
So they look at it long term. They've seen it play out before.
So I think what they are after now is there are
It's the reptilians.
there are a couple use cases for Bitcoin now in terms of if I was
That's why I said reptilians and you didn't even like flinch. Love a conspiracy theory. There's a couple use cases now.
couple of use cases are from US perfect perspective. They need to hoard as much as energy they can. That's Bitcoin, true representation of energy. The other one is laying the infrastructure for crypto to be there, and they are working on both the segments. So they are pretty much on the go, man. Like if you see,
The one thing that we're, I think, all sort of waiting for that will trigger a bull run as well is the US actively acquiring more Bitcoin.
Yes, and
Because
that's
nowadays they acquire it through backdoor channels.
Yep.
So they'll seize Bitcoin as proof of, as proceeds of crime.
Yep.
They'll seize Bitcoin by dethroning Venezuela, and they'll get Bitcoin. They're building that way,
Yep.
right? But do we get to a point where they actively mine
Buying it
or
online.
purchase? Because even if you're purchasing Bitcoin, it's a form of mining. Form of mining, right? Because you've exerted. If we're looking at the energy, proof of work,
Yeah, you're just
right?
trading
So
it.
you're
right? So
you're not buying the machine. You're getting work.
done.
You're getting
and you're
work
procuring
done,
it.
and you're purchasing. So it all becomes the same.
Just like
same
we do.
ecosystem.
Yeah, just like
Exactly.
we do.
Like I said,
Yeah.
if you're going to work and getting paid in Bitcoin,
Exactly.
that's the energy that you've put in. So it's all the same thing. So if one way or the other, the U.S. government starts acquiring Bitcoin, I think that's when we know this thesis is correct,
Yeah.
and I think that leads to a massive bull market. So buy Bitcoin
I
on
think
day
the-
1x.
Oh yeah. I think two things that I've noticed right now is US government hasn't really declared that they'll be buying on the balance sheet because they say that it's taxpayers' money and
Yeah.
we don't want to spend on buying, but they can always diversify into
Well,
gold or
they don't want to spend on a speculative asset.
exactly.
Right?
So
Because
maybe
it's
they can
volatile.
diversify. The other thing is Trump is smart enough for his son to open a Bitcoin mining farm.
So Trump's son is a massive. I love the tour of it. It's massive. Not a human in sight. It's just
Yeah.
massive computers and energy consumption.
That's it.
B, the Trump Media Fund has
Yeah.
filed for ETFs.
Yes.
So Trump's company, it's called the Trump Media Fund,
Yep.
has filed for a Bitcoin ETF
Yep.
and an Ethereum ETF.
Ethereum ETF.
Dude, how great! Can you imagine? Can you imagine if a sitting president said, "I'm going to invest in an oil farm in the Middle East, or an offshore oil rig,
Yeah.
or I'm going to purchase a gold mine
Yep.
in Brazil."
Yeah.
Can you imagine the uproar?
Exactly.
The uproar of, well, how is that? That's a conflict of interest. That's this. That's that. Like no other industry would allow that.
Yep.
But because crypto is so new, they've gone, aha, we can.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.